here's more wrestling news for September 30th, 2021. And your headlines for this afternoon include Bronson Reed signed 3-year extension with WWE just before release, shocking reason for his release revealed. WWE Hall of Famer rejected Vince McMahon's offer to become a producer. Vince McMahon was confused by Braun Strowman gimmick in WWE. Bryan Danielson matches announced for AEW Rampage and Dynamite. Spoiler on big unannounced match for AEW Rampage this week. Released WWE superstar signs contract with AEW. Big E talks about how special it was for fans to chant for Brodie Lee after his WWE title win. Stephanie McMahon makes Forbes 2021 list of world's most influential CMOs. Seth Rollins comments on WWE NXT 2.0 allowing more profanities, and more. We are starting today with Bronson Reed, who prior to his NXT release had been working dark matches on the main roster, as it seemed clear that the company had something planned for the former North American champion. Whatever plans WWE had didn't pan out, but the company was confident enough in Reed that he even signed a contract extension. Speaking to Insight with Chris Van Vliet, Reed explained how out of the blue his release was, as all the signs pointed to the idea that he was in the company for the long haul. I started at the start of 2019 on a 3-year deal. Only at the start of this year I signed a new 3-year deal. I was blindsided that halfway through the year that I was released. Also, with where I was placed on the card and how I was utilized, I didn't think it was coming. WWE contract extensions don't guarantee a superstar is safe from being released, as these contracts have a clause saying that the talent can still be let go, presumably after being given a financial payout. It's also been reported that NXT's head Triple H wasn't informed about the releases until they were already happening, and it was Vince McMahon who made the call on Reed, saying he was too fat for their show. The Australian wrestler needs to clear up his visa issues before he can get back to wrestling, and hopefully his search for a company that'll vouch for him doesn't take long. As one half of possibly the greatest tag team ever, Bully Ray has decades of knowledge in the wrestling industry, which would make him a great asset to any company, on or off screen. Speaking this week on Stories with Briscoe and Bradshaw, the Hall of Famer admitted that WWE themselves had offered him a backstage position, one that he'd turned down. Bully Ray explained that he believes the producer role isn't what it used to be, and said that it's now a case of carry the marching orders of creative to the boys, who he said don't have as much input into things these days. The role of a producer is to feed information from WWE higher-ups to superstars and help put together key moments and finishes for their matches. The former tag team champion went on to say that he hasn't ruled out working as a producer one day, but feels that creativity can't be put to work for the superstars of WWE. Perhaps one day Bully Ray will change his mind on the company, but if he ever does sign on as a producer for any promotion, don't expect it to be working for Vince McMahon. This year, WWE made the baffling decision to release Braun Strowman, making his final match in the company as part of the WWE Championship Triple Threat match at WrestleMania Backlash. As a former Universal Champion, Intercontinental, and Tag Champion, and the greatest Royal Rumble winner, Strowman was clearly popular with WWE management, which makes his abrupt release all the more strange. Speaking to the High Spot Virtual Gimmick Table podcast, Braun spoke about his relationship with Vince McMahon, which got off to a rocky start. He said, "I was a rosebud. That's what got me seen. Vince McMahon himself saw me doing the rosebud gimmick. He goes, 'Why is this guy doing this?' Strowman would thankfully become a member of the Wyatt family before becoming his own star, and after showing off his jacked physique in a recent photo and a rumor of a move to Impact Wrestling and a monster push, the future looks bright for the former Rosebud." Over to AEW next as Bryan Danielson continues to make waves ever since his All Out debut and wants another shot at Kenny Omega. After their time-limit draw on last week's Dynamite, Omega has said there will be no rematch, and during last night's show, the former WWE World Champion offered an open challenge for any member of the Elite. It was confirmed shortly after that Nick Jackson has answered the call, and he'll face Bryan this Friday on Rampage. The match with Jackson isn't the only match in Danielson's near future, as it's also been confirmed that he'll be in action on next week's second anniversary of Dynamite in Philadelphia. On that show, Danielson will team with Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage to face the Elites Omega, Adam Cole, and the Young Bucks, in what'll no doubt be a huge way to celebrate the second anniversary of AEW's flagship show. At AEW Double or Nothing 2021, Lio Rush made his AEW debut as the Joker in the Casino Battle Royal, but his tenure with the company was short-lived. On June 8th, Rush announced his retirement from wrestling due to a serious ACL injury, but also wanting to focus on being a husband, father, and a family man. In August, Rush announced that he'd been medically cleared and was seemingly unretired, and is now back with All Elite Wrestling. During the second hour of Dynamite, a short vignette aired, hyping Rush's return to the company, saying that fans can call him Leverage Buy-In Leo. Not long after this vignette, a tweet confirmed that the former NXT Cruiserweight Champion is All Elite, in what was quite a shock to the fans who thought he was retired. Earlier this month, Tony Khan admitted that he'd been talking to Rush about a return, saying it could happen in the near future, and that is certainly the case now that LBO Leo is officially on AEW's roster. On the September 20th Raw, just 1 week after he cashed in Money in the Bank, WWE Champion Big E had a powerful celebration speech in the ring. During that speech, Big E thanked everyone who'd helped him and also thanked one incredible friend above, a reference to Brodie Lee, who died last December. The fans knew exactly who Big E meant, as a loud Brodie chant filled Raleigh's PNC Arena, and during an appearance on Oral Sessions, the champ opened up about how much that meant to him. It was so heartwarming and almost overwhelming to hear those chants and to know that people knew who I was talking about and that his memory is still alive. You're not talking about this pro wrestler who died. When you're chanting Brodie, that's my friend, that's my brother. I appreciated that so much. It meant a lot. I just wanted to continue to keep his memory alive. Noting that he never called Brodie by his WWE name Luke Harper outside of promos, Big E also revealed that Lee was one of the first to congratulate Kofi Kingston on his WWE title win in 2019, and knew he would have done the same for him. Last night's Dynamite was dedicated to Brodie Lee as it took place in his hometown of Rochester, New York, as the sadly departed wrestler continues to mean a lot to those in WWE and AEW. As the chief brand officer of WWE, Stephanie McMahon is one of the company's biggest decision-makers, and now the former WWE Women's Champion has been praised for her efforts behind the scenes. This week, Forbes released its 2021 listing of the world's most influential chief marketing officers, and Stephanie made the cut, taking second place from a pool of 500 candidates. Second is the same spot McMahon had in 2020, and is significantly higher than ranking 13th in 2019. In the Forbes write-up, Stephanie was praised for her cross-company collaborations, including WWE's work with the Connors Cure Foundation and the Zombie Lumberjack match from WrestleMania Backlash to promote Netflix's Army of the Dead. That match may have been slated by fans, but the crossover marketing certainly impressed those at Forbes, as McMahon's achievements are impossible to deny. Now, NXT 2.0 has proven to be a much different show than the one Triple H helped create, as the relaunched brand is allowing for a much more mature feel. On this week's show, the word bullshit made its way onto the broadcast, which caught a lot of people off guard, including Seth Rollins. Taking to Twitter, the former Universal Champion addressed WWE's loosening their code when it comes to foul language, and dropped a few swears of his own in the tweet. Perhaps Rollins will slip some profanity into what he has to say this Friday when he confronts the returning Edge, but it would certainly make for a memorable moment if Rollins chooses to drop some curse words now that he can. And we're ending today with a trip across the pond, as 2020 was a difficult year for NXT UK, who didn't hold TV tapings for months in a row. That changed last September when tapings returned, albeit without fans in attendance, but this trend may thankfully be ending soon. Alex McCarthy of TalkSport reports that BT Sport, who've been hosting the tapings at their studios, have been lobbying to become the permanent home of NXT UK and are looking to bring fans back imminently. WWE and BT Sport have been in talks, and the channel is said to be confident that they'll have fans soon, but logistics are still being worked out. NXT UK's last tapings were held the week of SummerSlam in August, with the next set to be taped early next month, and time will tell when fans will return to the brand. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.